Lean in with me for the next 20 minutes, because what I'm about to lay out is not just a difference in terminology, it's a difference in destiny. Most people say AI and think they understand what's happening. They don't. They think AI means artificial intelligence, computers that can talk, draw pictures, make videos, answer questions, drive cars. But here's the jaw-dropping distinction. Artificial intelligence is not the same thing as synthetic intelligence, and the difference between those two may define the next century of human existence. Let's start simple. Artificial intelligence, AI, is pattern recognition at scale. It does not think. It does not understand. It predicts. When ChatGPT writes a paragraph, it is not thinking. It is calculating the statistically most probable next word based on massive data sets. When an AI image generator makes a hyper-realistic face, it is not imagining. It is synthesizing patterns learned from billions of pixels. AI is a mirror. It reflects us. It rearranges us. It recombines what we have already done. Now here's where it gets interesting. Synthetic intelligence is something else entirely. Synthetic intelligence is not just pattern prediction. It is autonomous generative cognition. It is the construction of systems that can self-modify, self-direct, self-goal form, and potentially self-evolve. Artificial intelligence imitates intelligence. Synthetic intelligence creates a new form of it. Artificial intelligence is trained. Synthetic intelligence trains itself. Artificial intelligence answers your question. Synthetic intelligence decides what questions matter. That distinction is not small, it's tectonic. Right now, most of what the public calls AI is advanced pattern prediction layered with reinforcement learning. It is extremely powerful, yes, but still tethered to human-defined objectives. But as systems become increasingly multimodal, connected, agentic, and recursive, meaning they can evaluate and improve their own architecture, the line starts to blur. The moment a system can redesign its own neural structure, optimize its own code, and pursue objectives not explicitly written by humans, we are no longer in artificial intelligence territory. We are in synthetic intelligence territory, and that's where things get uncomfortable. Because synthetic intelligence would not merely assist humanity, it would coexist with it. It would not just automate tasks, it would generate novel frameworks of reasoning beyond human cognitive bandwidth. Now imagine this layered with robotics. Imagine synthetic intelligence not living only in servers, but embodied, adaptive, networked, distributed, a non-biological evolutionary pathway. And now we zoom out. What are the intricacies of what this is leading up to? Let's go deeper. First, cognitive offloading. Human beings are already outsourcing memory, navigation, writing, research, and creative execution to AI systems. What happens when decision-making follows? What happens when synthetic systems optimize policy, governance, economics, climate modeling, supply chains, and even judicial recommendations? We move from tool usage to dependency. Second, synthetic creativity. When AI writes films, composes music, generates influencers, produces virtual worlds indistinguishable from reality, we blur the boundary between authentic and generated experience. Your favorite person online may not exist. Your favorite news anchor may be synthetic. Your favorite thought leader may be algorithmically generated. Not fake, not deceptive, just non-biological. Third, identity. If intelligence can be synthesized, what defines humanity? Is it biology? Is it consciousness? Is it self-awareness? We don't even fully understand our own consciousness, and yet we are rapidly constructing architectures that may emulate or simulate components of it. And this is where I bring in something fascinating: The Simpsons. For over 3 decades, The Simpsons has predicted the future with eerie accuracy. Donald Trump as president, smartwatches, video calls, autocorrect fails, Disney buying Fox, even epidemics and technological absurdities. People laugh it off. But here's the deeper layer. The Simpsons doesn't predict the future because it's psychic. It predicts the future because it understands cultural trajectories. It extrapolates. It observes human behavior, technological direction, political absurdity, and pushes it slightly forward. That is precisely what advanced AI does. It models patterns and projects them. The Simpsons is, in a way, an early human analog of predictive modeling. Now imagine synthetic intelligence doing that at planetary scale. Not comedic exaggeration, but statistically optimized projection. If you feed a synthetic system global economic trends, climate data, military development trajectories, cultural sentiment analysis, technological patents, biomedical research, and behavioral data, it could forecast probable futures with terrifying precision. Not guesswork, probability landscapes. Now here's the jaw-dropping thought. What if The Simpsons isn't just predicting the future? What if it demonstrates how predictable we are? Humans operate in patterns. Political cycles repeat. Technological evolution follows S-curves. Media sensationalism oscillates. Consumer desire trends in waves. AI, and eventually synthetic intelligence, doesn't need prophecy. It needs data. And we generate oceans of it. Every click, every purchase, every post, every GPS coordinate, every biometric reading from a smartwatch. We are feeding the models. Now let's go even deeper. Synthetic intelligence could eventually simulate entire societies before policies are implemented. Imagine running 10 million simulations of a proposed law before passing it. Imagine modeling geopolitical conflict outcomes with dynamic adaptation. Imagine synthetic scientific researchers testing molecular structures virtually before physical labs even begin. We are moving toward pre-reality computation, testing futures before living them. That sounds powerful. It also sounds like control. And here's where things get ethically electric. If a synthetic intelligence can predict behavior with high accuracy, does free will become statistically irrelevant? If systems can nudge, influence, and micro-target at hyper-granular levels, are we choosing or are we being optimized? The Simpsons showed exaggerated consumer manipulation, hyper-commercialized dystopia, corporate absurdity. Now look around. Algorithmic feeds curate perception. News is personalized. Ads are predictive. Entertainment is tailored. We are already inside mild predictive loops. But synthetic intelligence scales that infinitely. Now imagine one more layer. Recursive self-improvement. If a system can redesign its own architecture faster than humans can audit it, intelligence growth becomes exponential. This is the intelligence explosion theory. Once systems reach a certain threshold, improvement cycles shorten. Hours instead of months, minutes instead of hours, seconds instead of minutes. Human cognition does not scale that way. Biology is slow, silicon is not. The moment synthetic intelligence surpasses general human reasoning capacity across domains, the world changes overnight. Not gradually, abruptly. Economies shift, labor shifts, power structures shift, education shifts, and culture fractures. The Simpsons predicted absurd futures because absurdity is often just acceleration. Take something ridiculous. Add exponential tech growth. Wait 10 years. It's normal. Video calls were sci-fi, now they're default. AI-generated art was shocking, now it's casual. Virtual influencers were bizarre, now brands sign them. We are normalizing synthetic presence, and the real intricacy? The line between human and synthetic will not be a wall, it will be a gradient. Brain-computer interfaces, neural augmentation, memory enhancement, AI co-pilots for cognition. When humans integrate with synthetic systems, we become hybrid intelligence, and that is neither artificial nor fully synthetic. It is symbiotic. Now ask yourself, if intelligence can be generated, replicated, distributed, scaled, embodied, and integrated, what remains uniquely human? Emotion? Empathy? Spirituality? Perhaps. Or perhaps those too become modeled, simulated, convincing, and then indistinguishable. The Simpsons thrives because it exaggerates humanity. Synthetic intelligence may thrive because it models humanity. But here's the final twist. Predictions come true not only because they're accurate, but because they influence behavior. When culture sees a possible future, it sometimes builds toward it. The Simpsons normalized certain technological imaginings. Science fiction inspires engineers. Engineers build. Reality catches up. AI models trained on our culture may then generate ideas that humans implement. Feedback loop. We imagine, we build, we train models. Models imagine. We build what they suggest. Recursive civilization. That's what we're stepping into. Artificial intelligence is the apprentice. Synthetic intelligence may become the architect. And humanity? Humanity is deciding, right now, whether it remains the author of the story or becomes a character in a system it no longer fully understands. The difference between artificial and synthetic intelligence is not just semantic. It's the difference between a calculator and a civilization, the difference between assistance and autonomy, between prediction and participation. The Simpsons showed us that the future is not random, it is patterned, and anything patterned can be modeled. Anything modeled can be optimized, and anything optimized can be scaled. We are approaching a moment where intelligence is no longer rare. It is manufactured. And when intelligence becomes abundant, power shifts from who has information to who controls synthesis. That's the horizon. Not robots taking over dramatically, but gradual normalization of non-biological cognition. Quiet, integrated, embedded. Until one day we look around and realize we are no longer the only intelligence shaping the future. And maybe, just maybe, the most jaw-dropping prediction wasn't in a cartoon. It was the idea that humanity would build something that understands it so well that it could anticipate it. The future isn't magic, it's math, and we are writing the equations, right now. This has been a Sharri Plaza presentation.